Hello there. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has called for tougher prison sentences. And according to a media report, Sunak advocates having criminals arrested more frequently in order to reduce the crime rate in Great Britain. Since Sunak expects a higher number of detainees, he wants to have 10,000 detention centers built in the coming years. Sunak also announced that he would deploy 20,000 officers and ensure more security on the streets. Not only as Prime Minister, but also as a father of two daughters, the safety of women and children is very important to him, he said. Especially against the background of the death of Olivia Pratt-Korbel, Sunak would like to strengthen the sense of security in Great Britain. The 9-year-old girl was shot dead in Liverpool. Even though the killer has since been caught, the Prime Minister is said to have been deeply shocked and remembered by the crime. Such a similar recent acts would deprive women and children of their sense of security. I want my kids and everyone else to be safe when they are traveling alone. That is every parent's wish. The Guardian and GB News quoted the Prime Minister as saying, although GB News. While men can often enjoy their freedom, women and children fear for their safety, according to Sunak. Sunak, who criticized Russian President Vladimir Putin for his absence from the G20 summit, wants to give his eldest daughter Krishna more freedom and independence. But until now, the 11-year-old herself had to refrain from her desire to go to school alone. That's why Sunak puts it again personally important to reduce the crime rate. Although even then she wouldn't be allowed as daughter of Prime Minister, I think. British media report that the British Prime Minister, who recently appointed his cabinet, wants to accommodate many of those affected with the security measures. He also sees the reduction in the crime rate in his country as a possibility of improvement. Sunak found that people who feel disadvantaged or come from poorer backgrounds are more susceptible to crime. When asked if Sunak was concerned that the number of detainees would increase too much, he replied that this was a logical consequence. If there are more police officers on the street, then we will fight more criminals, and then there will be more inmates in prisons, Sunak said. Against the background of stricter security rules, Sunak also supported the Scottish Parliament's Hate Crime and Public Order Bill. Among other things, the draft law provides for measures to combat extremists in radical protests and was heavily criticized after it was announced. Sunak himself was often criticized in politics, most recently because of allegations of bullying against ministers he had chosen. And talking about Scotland, on my Facebook, Instagram and TikTok, there's a video on IndieRev 2 today. And I'll see you in my next video. I'll be back.